All right. Let's get to some movies and some TV I've been watching. First movie we watched, I watched this last night, Stallone, Lock Up. So this movie stars Sylvester Stallone, the king of actors. I mean, he's just amazing. He's amazing in everything. I mean, not everything, but this movie is a fun, like, this guy. He gets, like, put in, like, this getaway prison, and it's kind of like Cell Block 99, except, like, less intense. He's put there and he kind of has to brawl and fight his way out. It's pretty fun, stupid Sylvester Stallone movie, and there's a lot of stupid Sylvester Stallone movies. This is another fun one. That's all I really have to say about that. I mean, it's not a good movie, honestly. It's just really fun and entertaining. If you like Sylvester Stallone beat 'em up type movies, like, I don't know, like some of the later Rambo movies, like Rambo 3 or 2, that is something to watch. But then I started watching Firefly again. So I have watched Firefly many times throughout my life. I've watched it 3 times, I think. So counting this time. So I've seen it like twice. But Firefly is this great show, if you don't know. It's a sci-fi western show. It was canceled too soon before its time. Look at this, though. I pulled this out, and the disc is already fallen out. And this is just disc 1. I'm going to show you what's wrong with this set before I finish talking about the show. You see this? So this glue residue comes undone, and you can't hold the disc in place anymore. And now my discs sit and bang around, all 3, because this is how they had them. Right here, I had to go wedge my hand all the way in there, dirty fingerprints, and cuts off the tape. And one disc just dropped on the ground. We got 2 on the ground now. And how do we pick these up without them? These things are pretty much scratched and everything because they just bang around all the time. They won't play right probably eventually, and I'm gonna have to replace this set. Gratefully, this set was not too expensive. This was like a $15 set. Not bad. It's just when I saw a Firefly collector set, I'm like, oh, I'll watch Firefly, and then it's just this piece of garbage set. And it's really cheaply made, and it's not a collector's set at all. It's so poorly made. I hate this set. I hate how they put the episodes on the back of this thing instead of like on the inside. Like, what are you doing here? Or just like put a booklet in it, because the size of this thing is ridiculous. It's a weird shape set too. Fits horribly on the shelf. I don't know why anyone thought this was a good idea, but yeah. So I just watched this one, and Firefly is like a western sci-fi show with this crew of people on the front there, and it's really fascinating. Okay, so Joss Whedon, director of the Avengers, the first one. This was when Joss Whedon directed like good stuff and actually, didn't just waste his talent on overhyped Marvel movies. He made the show, okay? And it's a great show. And it was canceled by Fox too early. It was 14 episodes, which was super unfortunate because this show is great. And they canceled it due to low rating. Like, I don't have a problem with a show being canceled for low ratings because it's like, yeah, the show's not successful, I get it. But they caused the low ratings. Fox pushed this show around the schedule so much that nobody could keep up with it because they hated this show. They didn't want it to succeed. They didn't have any faith in it. Which was like, why'd you fund this show in the first place if you didn't have it? And so, like, they didn't even give it a chance to see if it was successful. Because they already thought, yeah, this show ain't going to be successful. But then it became like a cult hit through DVD sales. And now, like, Nathan Fillion's super popular. He's like this nerdy actor that everybody loves. And he's so good. And he's amazing in this show. And this show is really good. But so I'm going to talk about the episodes here. The Train Job is like a fun episode, and then Bushwhacked is another fun episode, and Shindig and Serenity Parts 1 and 2. So these, the 3 episodes I mentioned before, Serenity Parts 1 and 2, those episodes are kind of just like, let's get used to the characters, fun episodes. They don't really dive much into anything. But Serenity Parts 1 and 2, so that episode was put together, and they watched, and Fox watched the episode, and they said, we hate this. You guys already made this, we'll air it. No, they didn't even air it. Well, they did air it, but they tried not to. It was one of the last episodes they aired or something like that. Something crazy. And they hated the episode. Hated it. So they made the second episode, The Train Job, like kind of a pilot also. So that way, Fox decided we don't want to air this. They could get used to it. And people loved it. People loved the second episode more than the pilot. The pilot is good, but it's just way too slow paced compared to how the show normally is. The show does have a slower pace, and that's not a bad thing because it deserves that slower pace. But this time it's like, oh my gosh, you just stop, you just slow down so much. It's honestly ridiculous, but it's still like an excellent film or show, but like excellent episode of the show. I mean, there are no bad episodes in the show, and the reason why, probably thinking, how is that possible? Well, this show was canceled. It only has 14 episodes. So having a bad episode would be really hard with that few of episodes. If you really think about it. And it's weird because there are shows I know that have episodes that few that actually are bad. But, it's kind of like, how do you even do that? So it's a really great show. One of the best shows ever made. Cut too short. I love it. And I'm going to be watching through the whole series, watching it and what have I been watching, then reviewing the series, and then I'll also watch Serenity and do a review. So I'm excited to do that. Super excited to watch through Firefly again. And if you can see what's in my background, I'm watching through 10 Commandments, the 1956 version finally. Reason why I'm doing it now is because it's just like, it's fun to have this playing in my background because it's a long movie. And there's a lot of credits. And so I'm letting the credits play while I talk about the film. Or talk about what have I been watching. So I just started the film, obviously. It's literally the start of the film is playing in my background. But I'm super excited to go through this film again. And I'm going to be watching through some other movies, too, over the next few days. I'm super excited to do all that. And stay tuned for Netflix and Disney Plus reviews I'm going to try to get out this weekend. Cool beans.